October 2002. The leaves were turning, painting the Washington, D.C. area in hues of gold and crimson. A time for crisp air, pumpkin spice, and a return to normalcy. But a different kind of terror was about to grip the nation. This time the enemy wasn't an ocean away. It lurked in the shadows, a phantom menace that could strike anywhere, anytime. John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo embarked on a spree, their weapon of choice, a Bushmaster .223 caliber rifle, their hunting ground, the everyday spaces of American life. For 3 terrifying weeks, the DC sniper attacks held the nation hostage. Fear became a constant companion. People were afraid to pump gas, walk down the street, or even send their children to school. The randomness of the attacks amplified the terror. No one knew who would be next. This wasn't just another series of shootings. This was something different, something insidious. It was the dawn of a new era of terror, one where the perpetrators were invisible, their motives shrouded in mystery. The roots of this nightmare ran deep, entwined in the complex relationship between John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo. Muhammad, the elder figure, was a man of troubled past, marked by failed relationships and a history of violence. Malvo, a teenager from Antigua, was adrift, seeking a father figure and finding a warped mentorship in Muhammad. Their bond was forged in a crucible of manipulation and control. Muhammad, with his military background and survivalist skills, exerted a powerful influence over the impressionable Malvo. He instilled in the young man a dangerous ideology, a twisted worldview that justified their horrific acts. Their relationship was a powder keg primed for violence. Muhammad provided the training, the weapons, and the twisted rationale. Malvo, yearning for acceptance and direction, became the instrument of his will. Together they formed a deadly pact, a partnership that would leave a trail of blood and terror in its wake. The DC sniper attacks didn't emerge in a vacuum. They were the culmination of a series of earlier crimes, a chilling crescendo of violence that foreshadowed the horrors to come. Months before the nation's capital became their hunting ground, Muhammad and Malvo had already left a trail of bodies from Washington state to Alabama. Shootings at a car wash, a liquor store, a golf course. Each incident a gruesome piece in a puzzle that investigators were only beginning to understand. These seemingly unconnected crimes, scattered across multiple states, hinted at a pattern of escalating violence, a chilling rehearsal for the main event. One incident in particular stood out: a point-blank shooting with a .22 caliber weapon. A stark reminder that their reign of terror was not confined to the precision of a sniper rifle. They were capable of cold-blooded murder at any range, their motives as elusive as their next target. These early crimes were a harbinger of the darkness that was to engulf the nation, a testament to the deadly potential of their partnership and a chilling prelude to the terror they would unleash on the streets of Washington, D.C. The first shots rang out on October 2, 2002. James Martin, a 55-year-old program analyst, was gunned down in a grocery store parking lot in Wheaton, Maryland. The seemingly random nature of the attack, the suddenness of it, sent shockwaves through the community. As the body count rose, so too did the fear. Each day seemed to bring news of another senseless murder. The victims were ordinary people: a bus driver, a taxi driver, a woman mowing her lawn. They were targeted as they went about their daily routines. The mundane transformed into the terrifying. The media, hungry for updates and fueled by the public's thirst for information, provided a constant stream of coverage. Images of yellow police tape, grieving families, and the now infamous white van, initially believed to be the sniper's vehicle, became seared into the national consciousness. Schools were closed, businesses shuttered, and public gatherings cancelled. People were afraid to leave their homes, paralyzed by the thought that they might be the next victim. The sniper had become a phantom, a spectre haunting the everyday lives of millions. Section 5. Modus operandi, mobile terror. Central to their reign of terror was their chillingly effective modus operandi. Mohammed and Malvo had transformed a nondescript blue 1990 Chevy Caprice into a mobile sniper's nest. The car, a symbol of everyday American life, became a chilling reminder that danger could lurk in the most unexpected places. The trunk housed their weapon of choice, the Bushmaster .223 caliber rifle. They had meticulously modified the vehicle, cutting a small hole in the trunk lining just above the license plate. This provided a firing port, allowing them to remain hidden while taking aim at their unsuspecting victims. The Caprice gave them mobility, allowing them to strike quickly and disappear into the urban landscape. They could blend in with traffic, their deadly secret concealed within the seemingly ordinary vehicle. Their ability to move undetected, to strike with precision and vanish without a trace, heightened the sense of fear and uncertainty that gripped the region. This sinister innovation, the transformation of an everyday car into a mobile killing machine, became a hallmark of their crimes, a chilling testament to their meticulous planning and the cold-blooded efficiency with which they carried out their attacks. Section 6. Taunting the hunters. As the investigation intensified, a macabre game of cat and mouse unfolded between the snipers and the authorities. Mohammed and Malvo, emboldened by their early successes and eager to toy with their pursuers, began leaving messages at the crime scenes. Tarot cards imbued with sinister symbolism became their calling cards. One card, the death card, sent a clear message of their intentions. Another card, inscribed with the chilling words, "Call me God," hinted at a twisted sense of power and a desire to sow terror. Later, they abandoned the tarot cards in favor of more direct communication. Notes demanding a $10 million ransom and threatening to escalate the violence if their demands were not met were left for investigators to find. These taunts, a mix of arrogance and desperation, provided a glimpse into the minds of the killers, but offered little in the way of concrete leads. Their willingness to communicate, to engage in this deadly dialogue with law enforcement, only added to the fear and frustration surrounding the case. It was as if they were daring the authorities to catch them, confident in their ability to outsmart and evade capture. Section 7. A glimmer of hope. The investigation, sprawling and complex, involved hundreds of law enforcement officers from multiple agencies. Leads poured in, but most proved to be dead ends. The snipers' seemingly random choice of victims and locations made it difficult to establish a pattern or anticipate their next move. A breakthrough came from an unexpected source, the snipers themselves. During a phone call to a tip line intended to taunt the authorities, one of the snipers made a crucial mistake. He mentioned an unsolved liquor store robbery in Montgomery, Alabama. This seemingly insignificant detail proved to be a turning point in the investigation. The robbery, though seemingly unrelated, had yielded a fingerprint. That fingerprint belonged to Lee Boyd Malvo. With a name to put to the crimes, the investigation finally had a tangible lead. The pieces of the puzzle were beginning to fall into place. Malvo's identity led investigators to John Allen Muhammad. Their history of violence, their movements and their access to weapons all pointed to their involvement in the sniper attacks. Section 8. The net closes in. The manhunt intensified. The FBI, working with local law enforcement, launched a massive search effort. The public was urged to be on the lookout for a blue Chevy Caprice, its description broadcast across every media outlet in the country. On October 24, 2002, after weeks of terror and uncertainty, the nightmare came to an end. A tip from a citizen led police to a rest stop in Myersville, Maryland. There, parked inconspicuously among the other vehicles, was the blue Caprice. Inside, asleep, were John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo. With them, they had the Bushmaster rifle, the scope, the tripod, and a chilling assortment of other evidence. A manual with note impressions, a voice recorder, a stolen laptop with maps and walkie-talkies. The game was over. The nation breathed a collective sigh of relief. The reign of terror that had gripped the Washington, D.C. area, the fear that had permeated everyday life, finally lifted. The snipers, no longer phantoms, were now in custody, their faces plastered across newspapers and television screens. Section 9, Justice and Legacy. The trial of John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo was a media spectacle. The nation watched as the two men were held accountable for their crimes. Muhammad was sentenced to death and executed in 2009. Malvo received multiple life sentences. His case raises questions about juvenile crime and rehabilitation. The DC sniper attacks left an indelible mark on America. They exposed the vulnerability of everyday life. They highlighted the changing nature of crime. There was a renewed focus on gun control and mental health. The attacks reminded us of the power of fear and the importance of resilience. The legacy of the DC sniper attacks is complex, marked by tragedy and a determination to learn. It is a story that continues to resonate today.